Have you ever followed someone you loved just to confirm the fear you were too scared to say out loud? My name is Emily, and before I tell you what I saw that night, make sure you subscribe, because this story is about to take a very dark turn. I still remember the sound his car made when it pulled out of our driveway that night. It was almost like the engine hesitated, like it knew something I did not. My husband Daniel told me he was heading to a late meeting. He said it casually, the way someone might mention picking up milk. But his eyes, they were different. Too soft, too careful. The kind of careful that hides secrets. I waited exactly 3 minutes after he left. Then I grabbed my keys, my jacket, and followed him. The road was quiet. Just the hum of streetlights and the faint sound of my heartbeat pounding in my ears. I kept telling myself I was overreacting, that he loved me, that I was imagining things. But deep down, I already knew I was right. Daniel drove out of town, past the little diner where we had our first date, past the school where we used to volunteer, past every place that once meant something to us. The more he drove, the colder I felt, because I realized he was not going to any office. This path, it only led to one thing: the lodge by Miller Creek, a place meant for couples searching for privacy. I parked far enough that he would not notice me. I watched him get out. I watched him check his phone. And then I watched her walk toward him. A woman I had never seen before, young, nervous, wearing a red coat that made her look like she wanted to be noticed but desperately hoped she was not. Daniel lifted her chin, smiled, and kissed her. I felt something twist inside me so violently that for a second, I could not breathe. I had been with Daniel for 12 years. I knew every expression he had, and the one he gave her. I had not seen that expression in years. Not since the time he surprised me with a necklace on our anniversary. Not since he used to hold me like I mattered. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run toward them. But I did not move. I stayed inside my car, fingers gripping the steering wheel so tight I thought I would snap it. Why her? Why not me? What did she have that I did not? Those questions burned holes in my chest the whole drive home. I did not cry. I did not yell. I did not do anything I always thought a betrayed wife would do. Instead, I went silent. Because silence is where revenge grows. That night, Daniel came home at 11:42 p.m., smelling faintly of cologne he never wore around me anymore. He kissed my forehead, told me he loved me, told me his meeting ran late, told me he would make it up to me. I looked him in the eyes and said, "Of course. I understand." I said it like nothing was wrong. And he believed me. It took everything inside me not to laugh. The next morning, I woke before him. I watched him sleep. Watched the rise and fall of his chest. Watched the man I once thought would die, for me lying peacefully next to me after betraying me so easily. If you want to know how blind love can make a person, look at a woman staring at a man she once trusted. He left for work. I waited 20 minutes. Then I started digging. I had access to everything. We shared passwords, accounts, bank info, or at least, I thought we shared everything. The first thing I checked was his email. Nothing unusual. The second thing was his text messages. Still nothing. That part annoyed me because Daniel was terrible at hiding things. For years, he would forget where he put his keys, his wallet, sometimes even his wedding ring. But suddenly, he had become a genius at hiding secrets. No, someone was helping him. I dug deeper. Bank statements, transactions, all the boring stuff that most wives never look at. And that was where I found it. A series of payments to a woman named L. Hart. Small amounts, but consistent. Weekly, always made late at night. I did not recognize the name, but I recognized the pattern. It was financial grooming. He was supporting her. I felt my stomach drop when I clicked into one particular payment description. It read, "For her. Do not worry. Her." That was all he wrote. Like she was a gift. Like I was a burden. I kept scrolling until something else appeared, an account I had never seen before. A hidden savings account. Not huge, but large enough to mean something. Large enough to support someone starting a new life. Was he planning to leave me? That was when something unexpected happened. My phone buzzed. It was my sister Laura. She never called me this early. I picked up, trying to sound normal. Are you busy?" she asked, her voice shaky. "No, what is wrong?" "It is about Daniel." I froze. "What about him?" She hesitated, then whispered, "Please do not get mad." But I saw him yesterday, and he was not alone. My blood went cold. "Describe the woman," I said. Red coat, brown hair. Pretty. Young. Laura saw them at a gas station 30 minutes before I followed him. And she saw something I had not. Emily, she looked scared, like she was forced to be there. I felt my breath catch in my throat. Forced? That did not match what I saw. The woman at the lodge was nervous, yes. But scared? No, she looked guilty, not terrified. Unless that was the point. Unless she was pretending. Laura begged me to confront him. I told her I would. I lied again. Because I knew confrontation would not give me answers. Only watching would. That night, Daniel claimed he had another meeting. Again. I smiled and told him to drive safe. He smiled back like I was the perfect, clueless wife. The moment he left, I followed. Same road, same route. But this time he did not go to the lodge. He drove to a small house on the edge of town. A house with overgrown grass, peeling paint, and a single dim porch light that flickered like it was running out of life. He unlocked the door, walked inside, and the woman in the red coat opened the door wider for him. I parked behind an old truck a few houses down and walked quietly until I reached their window. The curtains were thin. I could see everything. Daniel was pacing, angry. The woman was crying. And then he yelled something that chilled me to the bone. You said you would not call again. I told you to wait. Call? Wait for what? Who was calling her? He grabbed her wrist. Not violently, but firmly. Too firmly. The kind of grip that comes from ownership. She said something I could barely hear. I cannot lie to her anymore. Lie to me? My heart raced. My hands shook, and then another voice came from the back room. A child's voice. A little girl. Mom, is he here again? I swear the ground shifted beneath me. Mom? Her daughter? I stepped back from the window so fast I almost fell. I could barely see. My vision was blurry with shock. Daniel had a whole other life. A woman. A child, a home. A secret they kept together. 12 years of marriage, and he was living a double life. And I realized in that moment, this was not cheating. This was betrayal on a level I never imagined. This was abandonment in slow motion. And this was the moment revenge stopped being an idea and became a promise. I did not sleep the night I discovered the truth. I just sat on the edge of my bed with my hands shaking, staring at the doorway like Daniel might walk in and explain everything. But morning came, sunlight poured in, and nothing changed. My husband still had another family, a secret child. A woman he had been protecting, supporting, lying for, and he thought I would never find out. When he finally woke and stumbled into the kitchen, pretending everything was normal, I watched him pour coffee like a man who had earned it. Like he had not ripped my entire life apart with one hidden key in a second house. Rough night? He asked me, sipping coffee he did not deserve. I nodded, could not sleep. He kissed my cheek. I wanted to flinch or scream, or stab the mug right through his skull. But I stayed still. Because I had learned something important. The quieter I became, the more nervous he grew. He left for work at 8:12 a.m. At 8:14 I followed. But this time I did not go to the secret house. I went somewhere else. Somewhere he never imagined I would go. To the woman. The woman in the red coat. Her house looked even worse up close. Like a place where secrets go to rot. I knocked once, twice. She opened the door with messy hair, swollen eyes holding her daughter behind her legs. She froze when she saw me. I did not yell. I did not cry. I just said one sentence. You and I need to talk, now. She hesitated, looked back, looked at me again, then stepped aside. She was shaking. I could tell. Her daughter clung to her shirt, staring at me with these big brown eyes, Daniel's eyes. That was the part that hurt the most. She had his eyes. We sat at a small table covered in unpaid bills and crayons. She would not look at me. I spoke first. How long has it been going on? Her lip trembled. 6 years. 6 years. He had been with her the entire second half of our marriage. While I waited for him to come home, he was tucking another child into bed. Did you know he was married? I asked. Yes, she whispered. He told me he was leaving you. Did he say when? Every year. I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was predictable. That was Daniel. Always promising, never committing, always needing someone else to need him. He makes you feel like you cannot live without him, right? I asked softly. Her eyes filled with tears. He said he was all I had. I nodded because I knew that trick. I had lived that trick. I had married that trick. So why are you suddenly scared of him? I asked. She looked up sharply. That detail caught her off guard. Who told you I was scared? Someone who saw you. And they were right. You looked terrified. She swallowed hard and wiped her eyes. I did not want to involve you. You involved me the moment you slept with my husband, I said quietly. She froze. But I did not say it with hate. I said it with truth. After a long silence, she spoke. I tried to end it, she said, when I told him I could not keep lying to you. He got angry. How angry? Angry enough to grab my phone. Angry enough to threaten taking my daughter away. Angry enough that I believed him. That made my stomach turn. Daniel had always been charming in public, sweet in front of friends, charismatic enough to fool anyone, including me. But he had a darker side, a controlling side, a side that I brushed off as stress or frustration. She whispered, I thought he loved me. But he only needed me dependent on him, and he needed you believing he was a good man. I leaned back in the chair, staring at the floor. This was worse than cheating. This was manipulation, coercion, a whole psychological web. And I had been in it too. When is he coming back tonight? I asked. 7. Good, then listen carefully. Because I had a plan forming, and it was not driven by rage. Rage burns too fast. This was something colder, something that grew from betrayal into clarity. I was going to make Daniel choose, and he was going to choose wrong. I spent the rest of the day preparing. I gathered documents, screenshots, bank statements, insurance forms. I printed photos. I backed up files. I made sure every lie he told lived in black and white ink. Then I called someone I had not spoken to in months. My mother. She and Daniel hated each other. He always told me she interfered too much. Now I finally understood why. She saw him for who he was. Mom, I said softly, I need your help. She arrived in 20 minutes. She listened. She got quiet. And then she said the one sentence that changed everything. Do not leave him yet. Make him unravel first. So that was exactly what I planned. At 6:58 p.m., I sat on the couch like nothing was wrong. At 7:01, Daniel came home with that same fake, tired smile. Long day, he said. Dinner is in the oven, I replied. I watched him, carefully. He kept glancing at me, waiting for me to act suspicious. But I stayed calm. That scared him more. He showered, ate, watched TV, pretended everything was okay. But he was restless. Could feel something in the air. At 10:30 p.m., he finally broke. You seem quiet, he said. Do I? Yeah, is something going on? I looked at him with a softness he did not deserve. I was thinking, maybe we should take a trip together. Just the two of us. A tiny spark lit up his eyes. Relief, pride, control. See? He smiled. I told you we were fine. He kissed my forehead again. And this time I let him. Because I needed him comfortable. The next day, my plan began. I started withdrawing money, slowly, from our joint savings, in amounts too small to alert him. I opened a private account. I met with a lawyer. I documented everything. And I did not tell the woman, not yet. Because she still feared him. And fear makes people unpredictable. One night, 3 days later, I followed Daniel again. To the same house. Same red coat. Same child's voice. I stayed outside. I watched through that thin curtain. But something had changed. The woman was not crying. She was angry. And Daniel was scared. She slammed her palms on the table. She pointed at him. She yelled. I could not hear the words, but I could feel the shift. He had lost control over her. And he knew it. He grabbed her wrist again. Only this time. She pulled away. I had seen enough. I walked straight to the door and knocked loud enough to shake it. Daniel answered with shock written all over his face. Emily, he whispered. What are you doing here? I looked past him into the house. At the woman. At the child. At the life he built behind my back. I am here, I said calmly, to end this. He stepped outside, shutting the door behind him quickly. Too quickly. Listen, he pleaded. I can explain. No, I said. You can listen. For the first time in 12 years, Daniel had no script. No charm, no excuses ready. You have 2 choices, I told him. Come home right now, sign papers, walk away clean, or I expose everything. To your job. Your parents. Her neighbors, everyone. His jaw clenched. You would destroy my life? You destroyed mine first. He looked away, breathing hard. He had always been in control, always had backup plans, always had someone to manipulate. But now he had nothing. You do not want to do this, he muttered. Yes, I said quietly. I do. He lifted his head sharply. Then I am not choosing you? He said it like he wanted it to hurt me. But it did not, because that was exactly what I wanted him to say. Behind him, the door opened a crack. The woman stood there, her face pale, her daughter behind her again. Daniel, she whispered, you said you were staying here tonight. And he turned around on instinct. That was his mistake. His final mistake. Because the moment he turned his back on me, I took out my phone and hit play. A recording of him yelling, threatening her, telling her he would take her child. His body froze. The woman's face drained of color. Her daughter started to cry. And I just stood there, letting the truth echo through the hallway of that broken house. When the recording ended, I spoke softly. You are not a good man, Daniel. You are a coward with a secret life held together by lies. And you just lost both of us. He lunged forward, not violently, but desperate. Give me the phone. No. Emily, please. No. I stepped back. If you ever come near me again, or her, or that child, this recording goes everywhere. His face crumbled. Not in sadness, in panic. Control was gone. Power was gone. His entire life gone. He left that night. Drove off so fast he nearly hit a mailbox. And for the first time in a long time, the house went silent. The woman whispered, What do we do now? We survive, I said quietly. Without him. Over the next week, I finalized everything. I withdrew the remaining money, moved my belongings, blocked his number, filed for divorce, sent evidence to his workplace. Not to get him fired, but to make sure he could not manipulate anyone else. The woman filed a restraining order. I helped her get legal aid. She found a job at a local daycare. Her daughter started school a month later. And Daniel? He spiraled. Lost his job. Lost his house. Lost both families in one beautifully orchestrated collapse. One night, he sent me a single message from a new number. You ruined my life. I stared at it for a long time, then typed only 2 words. You started. I never heard from him again. And sometimes late at night, when the world feels too loud and memories crawl back, I think about the moment I saw the woman in the red coat for the first time. The moment I thought she was the enemy. She was not. We were both drowning in the same lie, just from different sides. But the last thing I think about, before sleep finally pulls me under, is the moment Daniel turned his back on me. Because that was the exact second I stopped being his victim and became the storm that destroyed him.